Is Grand Summoners dying? This is a question, the age-old question that I always get asked. People constantly bring it up to me, and it's always a topic that is definitely floating around the community. More so for the veterans, not so much for the new players or the intermediate, but definitely the veterans get asked this a lot. It's a discussion that happens a lot between all of us. So let me explain why I feel like it's not dying and show, of course, some proof of it, and then also why the veterans feel like this to kind of give some justification. So is GS dying? No, absolutely not. If you look at the numbers, which is here from Sensor Tower, which is the website we'll be using all data for this video, Grand Summoners on iTunes got 20k downloads and 300k revenue in the month of February. And if we actually look at Android got 50k downloads and 400k in revenue. It seems like to me that most anime games or just type of JRPG type games or any type of Japanese games always seem to do better on Android than they do on iTunes. Unless we're talking about like the really big names like Fate Grand Order and Pokemon Masters and stuff like that. But as you can see, GS got a total of 70k downloads and 700k in revenue. Last month I actually did check, and unfortunately I didn't take any screenshots though. I think GS had around 20k downloads, so you can see we hit a huge increase within the download department, and the revenue department actually stayed the same. It was 700k for February and 700k for, of course, the month of January as well. So is the game dying? Absolutely not. But why is it that veteran players feel this way? Why is it that we always bring this up that, well, the game is just dead right now? Which the reason for that is because of the constant content loop that we've been in ever since the game came out. Well, I want to say ever since about 6 months after the game came out. The content loop for GS has always been this. You do story, you beat story, you do events, you farm giant bosses, you farm all the giant bosses, you do all the new events that come out, you do dungeon trials, you do crest palaces, and that's it. Once you already do all the events and you did your dungeon trials, then you pretty much only farm crest palaces to get the crests. What is after that, OP? Well, pretty much nothing. Helping new players out is pretty much the next thing you can do, trying to get their accounts boosted up. And after that, it's whatever you want to do, you know, farm the luck units or do whatever until new content gets released. That's pretty much all you can do. And this is kind of how it's always been in GS. And even with the event scheduling, it's been the same. The main reason why a lot of people don't like the event scheduling is because we have, let's say, one hype event, like for example, VITs, right? I don't remember what came after VIT, so let's just make something. Let's say usually what happens is a hype event comes out like VITs. Everybody comes back to the game. All the veteran players, everybody, they come back to the game and they want to start playing it. Gets VITs, everybody plays VITs, everybody loves the VITs event. Well, after VITs leaves, GS goes back to what it was before. You know, that content loop that I just talked about. And we get a rerun event. We wait for the next banner or the next, you know, event to come out. It's maybe a rerun, it's maybe a new event. If it's a rerun, well, you know, everybody that's already done that event can't really get much from it. So we wait it out again, and then the next event comes along. Is it maybe a new event? Is it maybe not? We'll have to see. If it is a new event, then of course we can come play it if we're interested in it. But if the event doesn't give us anything meaningful, then it's very likely we skip it again until finally we really find an event that we really like that is coming to the game, and then we play in that event. And that's kind of how it's always been in GS. That isn't a bad event schedule for new players. For new players and intermediate players, players who don't have everything in the game, right? That's an okay event schedule because you're constantly bringing out new events every 2 weeks, to them at least, and you're constantly having, you know, new equipment to farm, new stuff to get, and that's perfectly a-okay. But it's at the cost of the veteran player base's health. What they get, they don't get any type of new content. Yeah, they do get the events, but unless they miss the event or they just want one of the items, that's pretty much all they can do, and then that's that. I think that's the main reason why a lot of people feel like that the game just dies whenever there's nothing there. Just because you don't play the game doesn't mean that it's necessarily dead either. You can not play Destiny 2, but then if you look at the Steam charts, Destiny 2 is one of the top 10 most played games on Steam right now. Is GS dying? No. But I can definitely feel how the veteran players feel whenever they constantly bring this up to me like, man, dude, GS is just so dead. Like, I'm not even interested in the ninjas, or the case may be, you know, I just don't really have a fun time playing the game. And to you guys, this is what I tell you. GS, unfortunately, isn't a game that you can play all the time. I don't think that's how the game was designed ever. Yeah, they have events that you get a lot of value out of if you play for long durations, like for example raids, but in general I feel like that the game, once you get to the end, it's kind of just do your own thing, you know? It's not meant to be played 24/7 because you guys gotta consider this isn't a console game, this isn't a PC game. It's not like an MMO that has endless amounts of content and they get updates frequently. Yeah, we do get updates frequently, but we don't get, like, you know, huge expansions and stuff. That's not what GS is all about, and I definitely feel like that a lot of people see that and they'll be like, oh man, this game is dead, it has no content and all that. When really the content does come out, it just doesn't benefit y'all. The way how I do it, at least because of how I always come back and I'm always enjoying GS, is I don't play GS as my main game. I haven't played GS as my main game for like mobile or anything in a very long time. Literally, I play other games. I play my PlayStation, I play my Xbox, I play with my friends and all that. I rarely ever play GS. Probably the most I play GS a day is probably 2, maybe 3 hours, and that's stretching it. And I have other gacha games I play as well, apart from GS, like for example, Pokemon Masters and the City of Final Fantasy Opera Omnia, the main two that I play right now more than GS. I have tons of hours on Opera Omnia and I have tons of hours on Pokemon Masters. So I think the way that you kind of fix this as a veteran player, because we can't do anything development wise, is just go maybe chill out and play another game until more updates come along. Try to find enjoyment in another game and if you want to spend a lot of hours in another game, there are gacha games out there that are like that. There are tons of mobile gacha games on the market that will give you what you're looking for if you want that very grindy long-term aspect of the game. Unfortunately, GS right now doesn't have that. Will it ever get it? Who knows? The only long-term aspect we have currently in GS is pretty much crest palaces, and that's it. The endless grind to get the best crest you want, and that's pretty much all there is to it. So with all that being said, that is how I end this video. Is GS dying? No. Can GS do better? Absolutely. We can always do better, right? But that is my honest take on the entire situation. That is how I feel with GS and how I've been feeling for a very long time. So guys, thank you all for coming out. It's been your boy OP. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe for more Grand Swimmers content on the channel, or just gaming content in general, because we are adding a new game soon to the channel. Very soon, actually. Don't want to spoil the surprise, but some of you may already know. And last but not least, guys, you guys already know, man. You guys already know. Don't forget to drink water.